Housing quarantine, getting old fast and you're losing steam. Break out a piece of paper, crayons, and a pencil. Tune in Mr. Allison's YouTube channel. So COVID, you don't bother me. Gonna make some art for everyone to see.
Alright, 3, you know what to do. 2, 1, 0. Eyes and smiles and frozen. Students, nice job. Good job, boys and girls. Okay, I'm so excited about today, guys, because for the past 2 weeks, we have been practicing for this moment. That's right, we've been talking about 1-point perspective, and we've been working on our little 1-point perspective practice drawings where we have our vanishing point in the very back. We've got our straight up and down vertical lines. We've got our side to side horizontal lines. And then we have, what are these lines called, everybody? Orthogonal lines that travel to or could be drawn to the vanishing point. Just like our windows here could be drawn to the vanishing point. You see that? Top of our door right here could be drawn, could be drawn to the vanishing point. Top of our window there, door, top of that building. Top of that building. Those are our orthogonal lines. We learned about that a couple weeks ago. We've been practicing with that. All of that is in preparation for creating our rooms today. That's right, our bedrooms or whatever room you'd like. I want you to notice that all these lines point to a vanishing point. Now that vanishing point is missing, right? It's kind of hidden. You can't see it because I've erased it. Put a square back here, and that has become the back wall. But it is still 1-point perspective. There was a point, there was a vanishing point before I erased it that all those orthogonal lines meet up at or could be drawn to. So that's why we've been spending so much time on this. All right, so before we begin, I just want to review those 3 lines with you one more time because that's the secret to this whole thing. If you understand that any diagonal line has to be able to be drawn to the vanishing point, then you'll understand that any diagonal line can't just be a diagonal line, has to be an orthogonal line, meaning it could be drawn to the vanishing point. Just like the road could be drawn to the vanishing point, or the top of the doors, as I've said before, could be drawn to the vanishing point, orthogonal. Any other diagonal line for our purposes today in the next few weeks cannot be drawn. Illegal, incorrect, wrong. So just make sure to check your diagonal lines. If they don't go to the vanishing point, then you know it's not correct. All right, so here are our 3 lines, the big secret to this whole thing. Our first line, our vertical line, straight up and down. You know that one. Vertical, straight up and down. No diagonal to it at all. Horizontal, completely side to side, just like the horizon. Side to side. And our orthogonal line, that's a diagonal line that could be drawn to or is drawn to the vanishing point. So remember, any other lines will be incorrect for our purposes today. Once you start getting a little bit more advanced, and maybe when you have a good handle on this, you might be able to start doing some other kind of lines, maybe some curves if you want to make some things round. But don't do that yet. Okay, here we go. Let's get started. You're going to get a blank piece of paper like this. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to use a pencil and an eraser. I'm going to have to use a marker so that you can see it. But you'll be best off with a pencil and an eraser today. Today, boys and girls, listen carefully. Today, listen. Today, draw very, very lightly. You're going to do a lot of erasing, perhaps because you're making some mistakes, or you're going to have to erase just because that's what you're going to have to do to be able to put some furniture in there. You have to erase some lines. So draw very, very lightly. It'll make your life a lot easier during this project. Okay, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to find the very center of your paper and you're going to put your vanishing point. So take some time, line it up, figure out where the center is, and put your vanishing point right there. The closer to the center, the easier the next steps will be. So find the center. Okay, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to make 4 orthogonal lines from each corner of your paper. There's a corner, there's a corner, there's a corner, and there's a corner. Each corner of your paper, you're going to make an orthogonal line to the vanishing point. So let me show you. Like this. There's one. Make sure to use your ruler, guys. Don't try to do this freehand without your ruler. You want this to be as straight as possible. Remember, draw very, very lightly. You're going to draw your 4 orthogonal lines from each corner. I can't see. From each corner. It's very difficult to draw like this. From each corner to the vanishing point. Don't mind my thumb. I've cut my thumb. All right, here we go. And our last line. Oh, that's not so good there. I hope you did a better job than I did. Whoops. All right, I'm going to have to live with it because I've got a pen. All right, your next step, boys and girls, you're going to take this ruler. This is a nice ruler to use for this next step because it kind of helps us to make these all the same. You're going to make that a vertical. You're going to hold your ruler vertical, straight up and down, along the edge of that paper, just like that, straight up and down. No angle to it, no diagonal, straight up and down. And then slide it over here, keeping it straight up and down, just about maybe an inch or less. Is it straight up and down? I hope so. All right, now I'm going to make a line on this side from this orthogonal line to this orthogonal line. See that? Straight up and down line, no diagonal to it. Okay, next you're going to put your ruler at a horizontal on the paper, so completely side to side. Line it up with the bottom of the edge. That'll help ensure that it's completely side to side, horizontal. Then you're going to slide it up, keeping it side to side, until that ruler comes to that line right there that you just drew. Then you're going to draw a straight line from that line to that orthogonal line. What we're doing right now, guys, is we're making the back wall of our room. It's going to look like that. All right, but don't get ahead of me. Next, you're going to come up this side, putting your ruler vertical, sliding it in until you reach that point right there that you created from that orthogonal line and that horizontal line. So make sure it's straight up and down. Very important, straight up and down. No tilt or angle or diagonal to it. Straight up and down. Very important. Whoa. Whoa. There we go. Just like that. Okay, I'm really hoping that these lines will match up if you put your ruler across straight up and down, horizontal like that. I'm really hoping that works out because that's our next step. You're going to put your ruler horizontal. Try not to give any tilt or diagonal to it. Slide it up or down, and hopefully those lines will line up without having to tilt your ruler one way or the other. Okay, if they do, perfect. If they don't, you're going to have to split the difference between this line and this line, and it's more important that you have a horizontal line, then they match up perfectly. So make sure, whoa, you have a horizontal line. See how that one didn't match up so perfectly right there? I'm not sure that line's horizontal. I think I made a little bit of a mistake here. Let me try it again. If I had an eraser, I would fix it, but I don't. Oh, that's a bummer. Okay, so remember to draw lightly, and luckily, I can fix it just like that. There it is. It's all fixed. All right. Your next step, boys and girls, is you are going to take your eraser, and you're now going to erase that orthogonal line, that orthogonal line, that orthogonal line, and that orthogonal line. Keep the vanishing point or redraw the vanishing point if you need to, and it will look like this when you are done. Just like that. Go ahead and do that. All right. Okay. Here we go. Our room has been drawn. Our empty, bare room has been drawn. Here we have the ceiling. Here we have the wall on the side, the wall on the side, the floor, and the wall in the back wall. Okay, next, boys and girls, this is where it starts getting fun. We're going to add one piece of furniture. Don't get ahead of me. One piece of furniture, and I want it to be, doesn't have to be a bed, because you might be thinking you don't want to do a bed. You want to do sort of a man cave or a boy barn or a she shed or something with some personal items that you would like in your room, and that's quite all right. But I would like to show you some simple pieces of furniture that are square-like. So think of a piece of furniture or something in your room that you'd like to be kind of boxy, like this, kind of boxy like this or like this. Doesn't have to be a bed, but we're going to put it right on a wall. So think of something you want to do that's boxy like that. That's simple and boxy that we're going to do on the wall, right, maybe towards the back of the room, right there. All right, to do that, let me show you that again. I want to show you these lines, guys. You see how I have these dotted lines? This is to show you, I'll go a little closer, that these lines are orthogonal. They're drawn to the vanishing point, right? Top of the dresser or whatever that is. That way, top of the artwork. See that? Bottom of the artwork. Everything, even the carpet, orthogonal lines. So you only have, here are three types of lines. We have horizontal, we have vertical, and we have orthogonal. Remember, anything round or curved that's kind of advanced, let's not do that today, maybe not even tomorrow, but the next week. All right, here we go. What you're going to do is you're going to think about where you want which side and where about you want your boxy furniture thing to be. Make sure this line is straight up and down, so you're going to want to put your ruler straight up and down. Make sure it's perfectly vertical wherever you want the end to be. This is going to be right up against the wall here, so I'm going to draw a line as tall as you want. Draw a line as tall as you want, as short as you want, just like that, straight up and down. This is the back of that shape that's up against the wall. Okay, next you're going to draw the bottom of that shape coming out from the wall. Completely horizontal line, like this. Line up your ruler, completely horizontal, side to side, no angle to it. And draw a line so that that shape is sticking out as far as you want it to stick out. So perfectly vertical, perfectly horizontal, up and down, side to side. All right, next, boys and girls, you're going to come up here and draw the top of that shape, perfectly horizontal. Line up your ruler so that it's side to side, perfectly horizontal. And I hope that's got it. And come out as far as you came out with this one. Just like that. Okay, next you're going to draw a perfectly vertical line, just like this, and you're going to connect those two lines. Maybe one of these lines you drew a little far and it stuck out a little bit further. That's okay, you can erase that later. Just find your vertical, straight up and down, draw a straight line from top to bottom, just like that. Okay, next, our next step, it's really going to start looking 3D now, is we're going to draw an orthogonal line. Remember, this line is going to go drawn towards the vanishing point. You're not going to draw it all the way there. You're going to stop before you get there, but you're going to draw this line towards the vanishing point. So watch this. I line up with the vanishing point, line my ruler up. I line my ruler up with the vanishing point in the corner of that shape. And I draw. I don't want to go any further than this because that's how far I want my shape to go. I would definitely never draw it further than this, the bottom of the floor there, because then it goes into the vertical wall. So I would, if you want to take it all the way to the end of the room, all the way to there, that's okay. But don't go any further than this horizontal line right here. Don't go any further than that. That's as far as you can go right there, because you've now reached that back wall. All right, now you're going to draw another orthogonal line from the top of that shape to the vanishing, towards the vanishing point, not all the way to the vanishing point. And this is tricky to know how far to draw that line. But really, oh gosh, okay, really, you have an eraser, so you can always erase. There we go. I line up my ruler vanishing point to the corner of the shape. And I'm going to stop right about there because I know that my next step is a vertical line. All right, you got that? All right, so as I said, your next step is you're going to attach this line to that one with a completely vertical, perfectly up and down, straight up and down, no angle or slant to it. You're going to connect those lines there. You might have to do some erasing if you drew that top line a little bit too far, and that's okay. There you have it. You have your first shape. Now, you would erase these lines unless you want to see through that shape. You would erase those lines. I don't have an eraser, so I can't do it. Okay, so now you're probably thinking, some of you are thinking, well, what if I didn't draw this shape very tall, as tall as you did, Mr. Allison? I stopped right about here. Uh-oh, it doesn't look the same now. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw a little shape right here that will look kind of like your shape, and I'll help you out with that. Everybody else, listen carefully and watch, because you might be drawing a shape like this next. So I'm going to pause. And maybe your shape looks like this where it's shorter. So now we have an extra line that we have to connect because we see the top of that shape. We have to connect it to the vanishing point like this. So we have an orthogonal line that we have to draw just like that. I'm lining it up right now just like this to the vanishing point. And here we go. Right about there. Stop right about there. You see it? So now you can connect that line. Oh, I overdrew that line, didn't I? But you can connect that line with a horizontal line like this. Completely side to side horizontal. You might have to draw that one a little longer to meet up with it. And then completely straight up and down vertical line right there. Straight up and down. Make sure it's straight up and down. All right, boys and girls, that's it for today. Just draw one or two simple boxy shapes and we'll call it a day. Erase real well. Remember, you got to erase those lines at the bottom of the wall line right there so you can't see through your shape. Don't do anything else. Don't add some drawers there yet. I'll show you how to do that another time. But that's it for today, boys and girls. I know you did a great job. And we're going to have fun with this, and I can't wait to see your creations. Bye-bye.
Sitting in your house in quarantine, getting old fast and you're losing steam. Break out a piece of paper, crayons, and a pencil. Tune in Mr. Allison's YouTube channel. So cover, but you don't bother me. Gonna make some art.